Yo, 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 happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, everyone. My name is Justin Moore, founder of Creator Wizard, where I teach you how to find and negotiate your dream brand partnerships. Back at you with another live stream. Today, we are talking about 10 summer brand deal ideas. Who wants to get a brand deal in the summer? Let me know where you're tuning in from and what type of brand deal that you want to get this summer. Because as you may have seen by the thumbnail of today's video, you got to start sending those pitches out now. We're almost in May. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I am live across YouTube and X and LinkedIn and Instagram and some other platforms too, and very excited to be here. I wanted to start off by sharing like something that was super fun that I ended up doing last week. I started recording my audiobook, y'all. For sponsor Magnet, I went into the studio and I can't believe how far I got actually on just the first day. It was crazy. I got through like 100 pages of the book, which is crazy. And so that was that felt very, very satisfying to go through that much. And I'm doing a little bit more later this week as well. We've got Living with Parkinson's tuning in. Good to see you here. We've got Josiah tuning in on Instagram. What's up, Josiah? We've got Alui 1187. We've got Javi Boost. We've got KNJ Lumber said, Justin, can't wait for the audiobook. Yes, me too, my man. Me too. I cannot wait for the audiobook as well. Targeting probably end of May, beginning of June is what I'm thinking. The thing is that I want to do something special with the book. Let me know what y'all think of this. Actually, no, I'm going to bury the lead. I'm going to tell you a bit later in the live stream what I'm thinking about in terms of some bonuses that I want to do with the book. But I definitely want to make sure that we are diving into today's topic. You know that these live streams are for y'all. So any questions that you have around brand deals or partnerships, etc., definitely let me know because I'll be so happy to answer those a bit later in the live stream. So what I'm going to do is, I oftentimes get comments from people who be like, Justin, I'm not a TikTok influencer. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a Instagram, influencer, whatever. I have a super niche, business, but I do sponsorships, but I'm in B2B or I'm in SaaS reviews or I'm in, something super specific. Can you help me get brand deals? Can you help me think through my sponsorship strategy? And increasingly, I'm starting, especially in our coaching program, I'm starting to work with more and more creators, clients, etc., who don't fit the kind of influencer mold. And so what I wanted to do today was talk through a mix of these things, whether it's some are going to be B2C, like business to consumer, and some are going to be B2B, which is business to business or kind of niche. And so the first one that I want to talk about, remember, we're talking about summer brand deal ideas if you're just tuning in, is number one is just like summer kickoff campaigns for a lot of brands is like a big deal. So this could be something like, obviously grill brands, road trips are huge during the summer, outdoor games, camping gear. And so the pitch angle is, basically kind of like kick off summer with essentials for the perfect backyard party or road trip adventure or whatever it is. Again, a lot of brands may not have run campaigns like this before, but having some sort of excuse to do some sort of promotion is brands are desperate for this type of thing. So if you're the one actually bringing this idea to them, perhaps you could champion it for them and blow it up into something much larger. So I love this idea. Summer's coming. I mean, like I wake up in the morning here in Minnesota and the birds are chirping. I took for granted birds chirping in the morning when I lived in California. And so for them to be back here and chirping right outside my window, it's a beautiful thing. I understand the season's changing now. Quick shout out to Derek's Lawn Rescue in the chat. Derek says, I just got my first sponsorship. It's not the largest, but it's a start, and it goes on as reoccurring revenue for 3 months. Guys, come on. Let's give it up for Derek in the chat because this is how this stuff starts. Come on, Raja Kumar, Pinky Jayan, the podcast space. Anna, what's up, Anna? Pocketbook Wellness. Let's give it up for Derek in the chat on YouTube. He said he just got his first sponsorship. It's going to be a 3-month deal. That is huge. And that is what we do on these live streams is we celebrate each other. So super, super proud of you, Derek. I still have that selfie that you sent me on Twitter DM of you holding the book. So look at how far you've come, man. It hasn't been that long. So this is just the beginning for you, man. Proud of you. All right. So let's move on to the second idea number 2 for summer brand deal ideas. So let's talk about something a bit more niche, which is seasonal software promotions. So these are things like CRM platforms, right? Customer relationship management platforms, invoicing tools, marketing automation systems. Derek, this is probably right up your alley. I'm sure there are a lot of software in, the lawn care space, contracting space, help you manage your customers, help you invoice your customers. Marketing automation is like, sending out drip emails. Every once a week, they're getting an automated email that's relevant, right? Oh, want to make sure that you get your, aeration on your lawn, now that spring is starting or whatever. And like, these are automated emails that come to your audience or your, audience, your list of customers every single year at the same time. You don't have to change the content of these emails at all because you say the same thing every time, right? And so you're reaching out to brands like that, pitching, something like whatever it is. Mid-year reset. You can highlight tools that help other businesses gear up for Q3 or something like that. Can be super interesting. There we go. Derek in the chat said the sponsorship is with the software company. There we go. So Derek's in the trades and he's doing a sponsorship with the software company. I think a lot of people think that like, oh, the only types of brands that could collaborate with me are like physical product businesses, food, something tangible, beauty products, lifestyle products, whatever it is. But no, look at that. Derek is doing a partnership with a software company. So there we go. Love to see it here. We got Lance, the PI, tuning in. We've got Jason Fiddler. Awesome to have you here and tuning into the live stream. All right. So idea number 3 for summer brand deals is something more consumer focused. So something related to family fun days, whatever it is, water parks, zoos, theme parks, kids' toys, family-friendly hotels. Anything, any brand, any company, tourism bureaus, anything that's helping families plan, whatever, the ultimate, summer memory making adventure. That is a good angle for a campaign in the summer. And again, if these, water parks, zoos, theme parks, whatever it is that they're not planning campaigns around the summer, around outdoors, things like that, here is your opportunity to pitch that to them. I think a lot of creators think that like, don't brands do this stuff already? I see them running promotions like this sometimes. And yeah, of course, some brands do, but not every brand does. They may only have one person on their marketing team, right? They may only have one person on that team. And so they're stretched thin. They don't have the ability to do all the things. And so if you can approach them with something turnkey where you're like, I'll do this for you. Here's how much it's going to be. What do you say? They may be like, amazing. Yes, thank you. They'll probably have some sort of tweak to it. But if you can provide them something turnkey where all they have to do is say yes, that's pretty interesting, especially for a smaller or medium-sized brand. Is this making sense? We've got Adriana from Texas DIY Mama tuning in on the Instagram chat. Adriana is in my brand new mastermind. Adriana, let us know in the chat, how have you been enjoying the mastermind? It's been so wonderful having you in there. We've got Moments by Frank tuning in. We've got the Resplendent Crow tuning in as well as Parker's on the Go over on YouTube. Good to see you here, and hope you've been enjoying the book. I think, if I recall, you picked it up last week. So let me know. All right, let's move on. If you're just tuning in here, we're talking about 10 summer brand deal ideas. All right, idea number 4. Now we're going a little bit back to B2B/niche. How about summer hiring blitz? HR platforms, staffing agencies, onboarding software, right? Especially if you are a SMB, right? Small, medium-sized business, an enterprise where you have influence over an audience of more like professionals. Maybe you're a LinkedIn creator, something like that. Maybe the campaign is around supporting companies' seasonal hiring waves with tools that make it seamless. Again, you can kind of turn any promo into something seasonal if you think hard enough. Heck, you could make a promo for your birthday if you want. You can make if you're talking, with the company, you can say, hey, when was your company founded? What year, what month, or whatever. There we go. Boom. There's a promotion. A lot of companies don't think of this stuff, but it's you. It's you coming to them with these ideas. It's the catalyst for them putting an actual campaign together and compensating you for that. Parker's on the go said, yes, nothing but eye-opening. We are a travel channel, so we are firing off emails this week. Let's go, Parker's on the go. Let's go, Parker's on the go. There we go. I'm saying go a lot there. Proud of you. All right, moving on to question number 5. And remember, these live streams that I do are for y'all. So any questions that you have around brand deals, sponsorships, negotiations, please make sure to drop it in the chat now so that I can get to it when I'm done with our little blurb here about 10 summer brand deal ideas. We've got Liz in the chat who says, just sent my extra book to a fellow creator. Her mind was blown by the book. Well, Liz, thank you so much. That means so much to me that you sent that extra book to your friend. Seriously, that means a lot. And I have this insane goal to get the book in 100,000 creators' hands in the next 5 years. And so there's no way I'm going to be able to do this without y'all's help spreading the word. So I appreciate that, Liz, very, very much. All right. So idea number 5, summer brand deal ideas, okay, is more consumer focused for this one. Summer skincare, beauty essentials. This is something that a lot of people are thinking about. Sunscreen, after sun products, lightweight makeup, sweat-proof skincare. I don't know. And so the pitch angle is, about that, like consumables, especially during the summer, is a huge business, right? And so again, just like getting yourself into the mindset of what these brands are thinking about in terms of the types of campaigns that they might be running is so critical. Instead of just reaching out and be like, would love to figure out a way to collaborate. It's like, no, what are they thinking about right now? Summer. That's what they're thinking about. So ensure that your pitch angle is about something that you research. Aduke Olarisha, did I say that? If I did not pronounce your name correctly, please tell me the phonetic pronunciation. Aduke said, I just want to say thank you, Justin. I bought the book and I got my first collab with Kodak. You are amazing. Okay, hold on a second here. You know what we do on this live stream is that we celebrate each other. So everyone, give it up. Round of applause for Aduke. Please, again, tell me if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. But come on, guys. Look at this right here. This one. I always screenshot these amazing testimonials because they absolutely make my day. And I'm so proud of you. Can you tell us a little bit more in the chat about how this deal went down? Because I think that the inside baseball of this is always really fascinating. We're just a bunch of creators hanging out here talking about brand deals. So you know that we would love kind of the behind the scenes of how you lock this deal down. So all right, love to see it here. Okay, and I pronounced your name properly. I'm stoked. All right, so yeah, let us know in the chat. Okay, moving on here. 10 summer brand deal ideas. We are on number 6 here, y'all. Okay, we're going back to the B2B/niche idea. Okay, y'all, trade show and conference prep content is huge. So go and research the brands, the companies in your industry. What trade shows are either they running themselves, or they have their own event, like HubSpot has Inbound, for example, right? A lot of these brands have their own events, right? You know how much money they spend on those events? A lot. Or do they have presences, booths at some trade shows where it would make sense for you to actually go and be in their booth, podcast live from their booth, film content from their booth. And if they don't have a photographer or a videographer, that's okay. You'll bake that into the proposal where you go out and you hire someone to go out and create a bunch of content. One of the largest deals that one of my coaching clients, Paul Jameson, has ever done is this exact scenario where he worked with John Deere Tractor. He went to the Equip trade show, which is the largest trade show in his industry, and he podcasted live from their booth for 3 days. They literally bought out his time for the entire event. He had all these brands wanting to vie to collaborate with him at this event, and John Deere said, no, let me back up a tractor full of money. Come on, guys. Come on. Let me back up a tractor full of cash onto your driveway, Paul. and have you be in our booth with our logo behind you for the entire event, where all the decision makers are, all the important key opinion leaders, luminaries of this industry, all the press are there, and you are the person in our booth. Okay? Is this making sense here? Right? Needing to think a bit in advance of what it seems like the brand cares about before you reach out to them. Okay? All right. We've got Hanadi from the KMH family. So awesome to see you here. Yes, everyone is congratulating Aduke. I love to hear it. Yeah, love to hear it. All right, so let's move on here. We've got a few other things I want to talk about on the topic of 10 summer brand deal ideas, switching back to some consumer ideas here. Again, summer, spring, ice cream brands, summer cocktails, picnic snacks, barbecue sauces. I'm just thinking crazy here, especially if you're kind of a lifestyle focused creator. What's the pitch angle? Celebrate summer with cool treats and seasonal flavors. I don't know. I just made that up. I've seen so many briefs in my lifetime. Something like that, right? Research what types of campaigns. Again, you have to remember, like, they probably have baked some of these campaigns many, many months ago. However, there may be certain seasonal things, like, especially if you live in the US, some sort of 4th of July promo, which is, 2.5 months away, something like that. Is that right? 3.5 months away. 2.5 months away. And so again, doing some research. What did it seem like they were doing last year? Right? Let me go see that. Let me go bring that back up when I pitch them. All right, moving on. Okay, here's another niche one. Remote work and workcation essentials. Wow. So what can we do now that a lot of people are working remotely? Well, maybe that means that you can go on vacation with your family, but still kind of work half-time, part-time, maybe. So the types of brands that you could potentially collaborate with, VPN providers, co-working spaces, I don't know, travel work gear brands, something like that. Like maybe this company wants to, do some sort of pitch around or some sort of campaign around, empowering remote teams to work from anywhere this summer or something like that. Do you see how I'm just like pulling these out, right? When you do this long enough, when you put in the repetitions, you start getting really, this stuff starts coming tip of the tongue. Okay. And a lot of these large language models like ChatGPT and Claude and things like that can help a lot, especially if you give it context of your pitching or your content niche. Okay. All right. Idea number 9, summer brand deal ideas number 9, summer travel must have. So just more of a consumer facing thing, right? Luggage, travel apps, outdoor apparel, sunscreen brands, right? Being, adventure ready for vacation season or something, right? Kind of a no-brainer. All right, let's round off number 10, financial planning for seasonal business owners, right? So this one's a little bit more B2B, a little bit more niche. So this is like financial advisors, accounting apps, cash flow management platforms. Like, I think a lot of people don't think about, if you are a small business, but like, look, especially on TikTok, there are so many small businesses that have started making content as a way for lead generation for their businesses. And they would absolutely love to potentially partner with someone like you to talk about, their app, right? Accounting app, financial advisor. I see deals. I see through the platforms, I see applications actually a lot for, these companies are looking for small business owners that also make content that can speak more credibly to why they use their tools. I mean, look at someone like Derek. He would absolutely. I'm going to continue to talk. Okay, did my internet come back? Hopefully, it's back. Someone like Derek can talk very credibly, not just to the as an influencer, but as someone who has an actual lawn business. And so they're desperate to find people like that. And there's not an infinite supply of people like that they can partner with, right? All right, we got some additional context here from Aduke. They were doing a brand awareness campaign, I reached out with a guided pitch. They agreed, gave me a deadline. After watching your videos, I delivered early on the project. They're happy to work with me again, which is what they said. Holy cow. Holy cow. This is huge. I'm so proud of you. This is so huge. Honestly. Okay. Can I ask you a very sincere favor? Would you mind submitting a review on Amazon for my book? Like the fact that you got this amazing result after reading the book is just so huge, and that would mean the world to me if you'd be willing to do that. So, and anyone listening here, if anyone read the book and got value from it, leaving a review on Amazon would be just an absolute game changer, for me. One thing, just a little bit of behind the scenes here, is that for the first 90 days after the book launched, I did not talk about the fact that my book was available on Amazon once. I didn't even mention it, not on my emails, not on my socials, anything, because I purposely wanted all of the launch traffic to go to my site. Because the value of having people buy it from the site is that I am able to get people's email addresses so that I can maintain that direct connection with them. Whereas when they buy it on Amazon, I don't get that, right? The only way that I can get that is if people join to get the or fill out their email to get the bonus section. And so I very intentionally did that. But the craziest part about it was that I still sold 1,000 copies on Amazon, even without mentioning Amazon once. It just shows you the juggernaut that Amazon is, especially when it comes to books, that people just I'll just go get it on Amazon. They don't even think twice, even though it's probably available on Amazon, right? And so that really, really surprised me. And so now that I'm working on the audiobook and I'm going to put it on Audible and elsewhere, I'm going to start being louder about Amazon. And reviews in particular are absolutely the number one best way to help propel the book in rankings and so on. Okay, so here's what I wanted to mention. Is please leave the link. Okay, yeah. So if Aduke says I'll be happy to leave a link. So it's just sponsormagnet.com/review. So if you go to sponsormagnet.com/review, it will redirect you straight to the Amazon listing where you can leave a review. So that would really mean a lot to me. So thank you. All right. Okay. So here's what I wanted to mention, and I'm curious to your guys' ideas here. And I think I saw a few questions here, which I'll make sure to get back to. So I want to make the audiobook really, really special. You know me, I'm always kind of doing these over the top, kind of weird, quirky things because that's just part of my personality. And as I was thinking, I mentioned at the top of the live stream that I have recorded about the first 100 pages of the book already, and I'm going back for another session later this week, that I just started thinking, this book has been out for about 3 months now, and I have so many testimonials. I have so many people who said, I read the book and I took action. I went out there, I pitched a brand, or I negotiated, better, and I got paid, 2, 3, 10x, what I would have gotten paid otherwise. And that absolutely blew my mind. And it made me think, wow, what if I could bottle that up, that lightning, into a bottle, into the audiobook? And so my idea is that at the end of each chapter, my book structure is the 8 steps of my sponsorship wheel. So I have 8 chapters that cover that, plus a few more. My idea is that at the end of each chapter, there will be a mini bonus interview, something like 3 to 5 minutes, with a creator who is talking about how they took action from that chapter and what the result was. So for example, if someone read the pitch chapter and they took action, they drafted a pitch, they heard back from a brand, and they got the deal, this type of thing. But basically 8 different types of creators. I'm hoping to find creators in a bunch of different niches, bunch of different types of creators, to just for the listener to be oh, this is possible. Because I think one of the biggest objections that I get is that's just not going to work for me. That's not going to work for my niche or for my platform. No brand would ever want to work with me, this type of thing. And I'd be no, hold on a second here. Here's 8 case studies that are proving that wrong. I just want you to hear that no, it can work for you too. Look at this person. They read the book and they took action, right? So what do we think of this idea? This is the first time I'm talking about this, and I kind of just want to make a public call. Like, okay, if anyone has read the book and like gotten an amazing result from, so I want like a case study from the pitch chapter, from the negotiate chapter and the contract chapter and all that. And so what do we think of this idea? Is this feeling good? Are we excited about this idea? Does anyone have like it jumps out in their mind that like, I am perfect for this. I want to be featured in the book. Let me know, because that would be so cool. Okay. Let's see here. Derek says, I bought it from your site because I thought you would make more money. That is a true statement. If you buy it through my site, I do make more money. So I appreciate that very much. Carpe Diem Mindset says, yeah, I just got it from Amazon like 5 days ago, although I am subbed to your email list, mainly because it's 2-day delivery. Yes, that is the other advantage of like doing from Amazon, is the speedier delivery. The coolest part about selling so many copies on Amazon is that I've noticed that is that as I have sold more and more copies, Amazon, it's clear, is stocking them more in more locations around the world. So in a lot of places, I've even seen some places where you can get overnight delivery for the book. And so I think what Amazon does is they just kind of see, once a book comes out, they see how well it sells, and then they will stock it in more warehouses if it's like moving, rapidly. And it's pretty crazy. Like, honestly, someone mentioned a stat to me recently that, more than 90% of authors never sell 1,000 copies of they never exceed 1,000 copies of their book. And so to have sold just 1,000 on Amazon is wild to me in the first like 3 months. I'm closing in on about 3,000 copies sold of the book. And so, yeah, it's wild to me. It's wild to me. And I mentioned that I am negotiating with several very large creator-focused conferences to potentially get the book in the swag bags of every single attendee. So that would be a huge coup if I could make that happen, because then I would like, all of a sudden, flood, like the creator space with my ideas. And that's so exciting to me, So a part of this like 100,000 book goal that I have to like get in hands, it's not just about selling that many copies. Frankly, I don't really care about making the money on the book. It's nice, it's a nice added revenue stream, but it's more about spreading my ideas. It's an impact thing. Is like just really want to empower as many creators as possible to realize that like, hey, you can do this yourself. You don't need a gatekeeper. You don't need a manager or an agent or a broker or a rep or whatever. You can learn this yourself. Here, let me show you. That really excites me. That fires me up. That is my mission. As part of making all this content, live streaming every week for years and years. So anyways, appreciate each and every one of you spreading the word about the book. Playing the Mom Game says, just join in listening in while I am at work. Awesome to hear. Oh, Duque says, I think it's because I'm in the UK. It's saying I don't meet the minimum requirements, but feel free to use that. I'm more than happy to do that for you. I appreciate that so much. In fact, I do have, hold on, I have one more way that you can do that, because this has happened to some other people. For those of you who are not able to leave a review on Amazon, I have one more way that you can do it. I have another tool I use called Senja for collecting testimonials. And it would be so awesome if you wouldn't mind submitting it over there. So thank you. Liz says, I just left a rave review while you chat. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate you so much. Dakota from the Bearded IT Dad. So awesome to see you here on the live stream. I see you are going to be at VidCon. I am going to be at VidCon. I'm very, very excited. I'm going to be at VidCon. I'm going to be at Vid Summit. I'm going to be at an audience camp. I'm going to be at a few others this year. So I'm very, very excited about that. Antares Airsoft says, just bought your ebook and I already landed 3 sponsors. Each are in different stages, so your book is super, super useful whenever I feel lost and I need to remember exactly what should be next. Holy cow here, Bianca. I don't know if you're on this live chat. I think you are. I think I saw you. Would you mind screenshotting Antares Airsoft? Because I might follow up with you that are in different stages at the book, because I don't know if you'd be interested in maybe doing some sort of testimonial like for the book, or like a, kind of like a little mini live interview that would be featured in the audiobook. Please let me know. Yeah. So if there's anyone there's one chapter in particular that really resonated with you and you really feel like you got just like a ton out of, and you have like an amazing case study that you'd want to share, please, please, please let me know. That would be so cool. All right. We've got Anti-Weeb Imani tuning in. I finally made it to a live. So awesome to see you here. Parker's on the Go said, that's an amazing idea. We would do it. Well, Parker's on the Go, let me know if there is a particular chapter that like resonated with you the most and you have like a case study for, because that would be incredible. The KMH family said, yes, Justin, I apologize for not leaving one yet. I've been on the road for my son's prep for the NFL. What is your son? Wait, was he in the draft? Why did I not know this? Is this like part of your like family's lore that I'm like not familiar with? That's incredible. Well, if he is, congratulations. That's wild. I was anxiously watching the NFL draft because I'm a huge San Francisco 49ers fan, and I'm feeling pretty good about our draft this year. It was very defense heavy. We didn't pick up any offensive linemen, which I was a bit sad about, but I feel it's a bit of a rebuilding year. Sorry for those of you who don't care about sports. I don't know. Hanati says that her son's prepping for the NFL, so that's crazy. All right, let's see here. There is a comment that was left up here, our question. And Parker's on the Go had a question a little bit earlier. So remember, like if any of you have a question, please drop it in the chat. I'd be more than happy to answer it. That's why I'm here. So I do remember you saying before to look at companies looking to hire in certain positions. So I am looking to send a proposal for a collab and how they can save money by partnering with us. Okay, so this is I'm glad you brought this up here. So I want to slightly shift the positioning of your pitch here and this idea. So first of all, you're absolutely right. This is advice that I give. And so for anyone who's not familiar with what Parker's on the Go are talking about, what I advise is that you can actually go to the job boards for brands and companies that you are, interested in collaborating with and see if they are actively recruiting for any marketing personnel, like content marketing, social, media marketing, influencer partnerships, digital marketing, and identifying whether the things that they're mentioning in those job descriptions are things that you might be able to do on a freelance basis. This is what I'm talking about, because they're literally saying, we need help with this. And so you actually reaching out and saying, hey, I can actually do that for you in a freelance capacity might be just the thing that they need, and doesn't require them to hire a full-time employee to actually do that. However, what I do want to say here is that a slight modification to this pitch I think is important, is that it's rarely useful or helpful to position yourself as a cost savings option, because then you automatically get them into the, Parker's on the Go, they are an expense. They are a cost. They are costing us money. Or, let's see if we can negotiate them down because, this is like a cost-effective thing. Yes, of course, when you have this conversation with them, that's going to be in their mind. It's like the elephant in the room, the buried lead from this conversation. But I don't believe that positioning yourself as a cost saver, as a money saver, as your primary value proposition is effective. I actually think it's way more effective for you to talk about the value that you're going to be providing, the content creation, the content strategy, angle where you're like, we have our finger on the pulses of YouTube or social media. We're posting every day. We understand what's trending. If there's a trending sound that happens, we can, help you quickly and agilely, in an agile fashion, respond to that. That's the value that you bring. Being able to be kind of a production company in a box, so to speak. Something that they, yes, of course, would have had to pay probably outside production companies or agencies to do that, or a full-time employee to do, previously. You can probably do that and save them a lot of money, but that's not what you lead with. You don't lead with, I'm going to save you a bunch of money, because you just instantly put them into cost-cutting mindset when they're in the middle of a negotiation with you. And so of course, that's what they're going to be thinking about. We're going to save so much money by hiring them, but that's not what you lead with. Okay. Does that make sense? Parker's on the Go says, oh yes, makes so much sense. I put together an email already, never push send. I will rewrite it today. Love it. There we go. 2 thumbs up. We've got your Tampa bestie tuning in on Instagram. Plated Meal. Good to see you here. Aduke says, thank you, Justin. Review submitted. Thank you. That really, really means a lot to me. Thank you. I super, super appreciate it. Dakota says, 2 years ago, my income was only $10,000. Last year, when I found your channel, I made $80,000. This year, since I received your book, I've already made $50,000 and I've booked and I'm constantly booked 2 months out now. Guys, Dakota, guys, hold on a second here. Hold the phone. Can we give a round of applause here for Dakota? Like, guys, my mind is kind of blown. First of all, dude, congratulations. And I want to say one thing, which is that this was all you. Yes, of course, if I played some sort of small role in helping you change the trajectory of your channel, of your career, of your business, like I feel super humbled by that. But like it was you put in the work, you put in the effort. I'm just super proud of you, dude. Honestly, I'm super, super proud of you. Congratulations. All right. The Bearded IT Dad says, oh, there's the better one without the typos. No, dude, don't even worry about it. I appreciate it, man. I super, super appreciate it. So one thing that I was reflecting about on my mastermind call today with the folks in there. First of all, I'm so glad I launched this mastermind. It is like one of the highlights of my life right now. Is I just love getting to chat with it, like work with this small group of creators, and basically I'm working with them over the next 8 months to transform their sponsorship income. And it's just the people who joined are just they're so wonderful, and it's a huge highlight of my days right now. And one of the things that we were talking about in there today was that this career that we have, this job that we've chosen to create like content on the internet, is unlike virtually any other job. What other job are you one deal away from changing your life, changing your family's life? I'm working with someone inside our mastermind who just submitted a $500,000 proposal. Like that is life-changing money for a lot, for virtually everyone, right? And we just like all had kind of a chuckle because it's like, what other job is like that, right? With a normal 9-to-5 job, like, you're lucky if you get a cost of living, 3% raise once a year, or if you get a promotion, yeah, maybe you get a 10% raise, 20% raise, 30% maybe raise. That's a lot. Maybe the only time you would have ever gotten a huge pay bump in a 9-to-5 job is when you switch jobs. Right. But like very rarely are you potentially able to land 4-5-figure deals regularly as a creator. I just think that having that that lack of a ceiling in a job is just like, I think it's amazing. I think it was amazing. I think it's just so cool. I don't know. I pinch myself that I get to do this every day. All right, let's see here. Derek says it's random, but did you mean to schedule a video to go public during the live stream? So this is a total facepalm moment for me, Derek. I literally just published a YouTube video about how to launch an event. It's a video kind of walking through how I launched my Sponsor Games event in 17 different steps. And I was so excited to publish it that I completely forgot that I was doing this live stream like right after. I was just so in the zone. I was like, I'm doing the timestamps and I'm doing the title and I'm doing the thumbnail. And I was like, should I schedule this for tomorrow? I was like, nah, this is the video. It's so good. I'm so excited to release it. And then I released it. And then I was like, oh man, I probably shouldn't have done that right at the same time as the live stream. So duh, I'm just an idiot. Let's see here. Anti-Weeb Imani says, I converted a gifted collab into a retainer. Holy cow. Thank you so much, Justin, for giving out all of this knowledge. I love your book. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. That is absolutely huge. Anti-Weeb Imani, would you just share a few notes in the chat here of how you did that. I think a lot of people here probably have a lot of gifted collaboration offers in their inbox and would love to do what you did, which was turning that into a retainer. So if you could give us some kind of inside baseball here, that would be amazing. Hold on a second here. Alan Spicer is tuning in the YouTube chat. Alan and I just connected a few days ago because Alan got a free copy of my book, Sponsor Magnet, because he was at TubeFest in the UK, which is a creator-focused event. And it sounds like Alan mentioned that it came in handy just in time. So absolutely love to hear it. KNJ Lumber asks, what is a gifted collab? So a gifted collab is where a brand offers you free stuff, basically, in exchange for talking about them. So like, hey, we'll send you a free, for you, it'd be like, we'll send you some free lumber. We'll send you a free lawnmower. We'll send you a free, whatever, attachment for your truck or whatever. But you got to post 16 videos about it or something, right? And so what Imani was mentioning is that they were able to convert this offer of a free product into, hey, actually, you should pay me. Here's what you should pay me, right? And so that's like a very exciting thing, I think, for a lot of creators. Let's see here. Alan says, I'm from TubeFest, and now I'm in Dubai networking. Amazing, Alan. That's huge. I actually, maybe I shouldn't talk about this, but I don't know. There's a very real possibility that I will actually be going to Dubai next year for an opportunity, which is... Dude, creating content on the internet is wild, man. The opportunities that just so many random things come your way. It's wild to me. Let's see here. Derek says, everyone always fights with me saying that their equipment is expensive and that should be compensation enough because others will accept that. I think that is a really common objection that a lot of creators have, which is just like, dude, this thing's expensive. Take it. Everyone's saying that they're gaslighting you. Everyone else is cool with it. So why aren't you? And so this is why it's so critical to have pivots at the ready to be able to overturn some of those objections and basically help them understand that Derek's different. Derek's different than all these other people who are fine accepting the free thing. For example, you say, oh, it's so good to know that all these other people are happy accepting the free thing. You don't say that. But I'm curious, in addition, in exchange for the, use of the loan, of the equipment or the, getting the thing for free, are you also getting the rights to repurpose their content for paid advertising? Because that's something that I specialize in. Let me know if you'd like me to send over a few investment options for what that might look like. Also, walk me through the draft delivery process or the production process when you collaborate with these people where you've done gifted or just free product in exchange for promotion. Are they providing you a draft of the content before it goes live? Because I'm curious how that's gone, because at least in my experience, when you don't have any sort of control over how your brand or your product is depicted or demonstrated or talked about in the content, there actually can be, number one, legal exposure, because maybe they're demonstrated in a way that's unsafe. And they may not be talking about the product in a way that is advantageous for you, again, to potentially repurpose this content for paid advertising, repurpose on your website, on your social media. Again, this is something that I specialize in. Let's talk about this. Okay? So again, a lot of it is educating yourself about how to pivot these conversations in a way that the brand can understand why they're missing out by not paying you. Is this making sense, Derek? Let me know in the chat. Aduke has a question here. Do you have any advice when it comes to dealing with cruise lines? As that is my next pitch. But unfortunately, unlike Kodak, they have an agency that handles it. So it's funny, I actually have a cruising creator in my mastermind. And so I squarely understand this niche. Actually, I work with two cruising creators. That's actually kind of funny. Going back to actually, there's a parallel here to Derek's question here, Aduke, I think, which is that a lot of cruise brands are like they have an endless line of 500 people who are willing to accept a free cruise as compensation, right? What family, what creator doesn't want a free cruise? And this is the line that they use. So it's the same approach here, which is like helping them understand what are all the things that they're going to get in addition to partnering with you beyond you just creating content. One other idea here, and this is kind of crazy, I'm working on this with another creator actually, is the onboard entertainment that they have on a lot of these cruises. In addition to the TV channels, almost all of them have their own channel where they promote what's going on the boat, things that are happening, various excursions, depending on where you're traveling, what the itinerary is like. What would it look like to actually propose to the cruise line that you would create a show? You would create content for them to repurpose on their onboard entertainment system. Do you think anyone who's accepting a free cruise is pitching something like that? Do you think the brand will understand, oh, well, yeah, of course we have to pay a Duque for something like that, right? Because that's totally different. Of course, because we'd have to pay a production company to do something like that. But wow, what a creative idea. Is this knocking anything loose, ideas in your brain, Aduke? Because again, this is why you're here on these live streams, right? Is I'm just like spouting these things off the dome, but it's because I've been doing this for 15 years. Part of this muscle that I've exercised and developed over the years is like being on a call with the brand and then being like, what do you think about this? And I'll just be like, well, that's a good idea. What if we did this XYZ? And they'll be like, whoa, that's a cool idea. And seeing how they respond to that. Again, I feel like a lot of times as creators, we think that brands have it all figured out. They've got all the answers. They're designing, they're designing the briefs and we have no feedback on that. Aduke says in the chat, is it worse dealing with an agency? So yes and no. I mean, sometimes the brand can be a nightmare to deal with directly, and having an intermediary like the agency can be really effective. Sometimes the agency can be really disruptive and super annoying, and you would prefer to work directly with the brand. It really just kind of depends, I think. What I have found is that agencies tend to get more involved when there is some sort of discrete campaign that they want to run, especially if it's like a PR agency where it's like, okay, it's the summer campaign and we're going to go out and we're going to find people for the summer campaign, versus when you have a direct connection with that brand. It's a lot easier to propose things that are a bit more blank slate, that are a bit more blue ocean in terms of co-creating something with the brand that will allow them to devote a more robust budget to you, if that makes sense. All right. All right. So got some additional insight here from Imani. I use the sponsor magnet template, offering the option to spread the partnership across 2 to 3 months to accommodate their budget, and showed them a previous post comments of how my audience responds to their products via my stories. Holy cow, let's go. Let's go. Y'all, this is like, the proof is in the pudding here. I didn't just like make these scripts up in the book. These are like battle tested across. My wife and I personally have done 550 sponsorships, earning over $5 million doing it. I don't say that to brag. I do that to say, like, I'm not making this stuff up. Like, these scripts that I have in the book, there's like real stuff that real ways in which my wife and I have pivoted deals over the years, over the 15 years doing that. I also ran an influencer marketing agency for 7 years, and I, paid out millions of dollars to other creators. And so I'm not making this stuff up. So I think a lot of people think that this is like some sort of, first of all, I think a lot of people think that this is like some sort of get rich quick scheme. Like, oh, like join my course, join my coaching, and you get a brand deal in 7 days. No, in fact, I just ended monthly payment option for my coaching program because I want to reset the expectation with everyone that this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a long game. This takes a while to build these relationships with brands, to nurture these relationships. A pitch, if your expectation when you pitch a brand is that I'm going to get a deal, that is the wrong expectation. The whole point of a pitch is to establish the relationship. Nurture that relationship so that when they are ready to engage you and to search for creators for a campaign that they're running in 2, 3, 5, 6 months, they're going to think of you. That is the point of a pitch. The point of a pitch is not to get a deal. Can we drop it in a 1 in the chat if you hear what I'm saying here? Give me a praise hands emoji. Give me the mind blown emoji. Give me the smiling with the sunglasses one. Let me know that you're hearing me. What is a pitch? A pitch is not just to get the deal. Maybe sometimes you'll get a deal, but more often it's to establish the relationship, build the rapport so that when they are ready to engage with creators on a future campaign, they think of you. Okay? Did this reset anything in anyone's mind? Please let me know. Did this reset anything? Imani says, I'm saving to take your course because I know it's worth it. Imani, I super appreciate that. And honestly, it'll be here when you're ready. I will mention here something that I actually sent an email out about yesterday, that I have reduced the investment for the course to $997. This is the lowest that it's ever been. I've just been thinking a lot about accessibility in terms of, obviously I have the book, right? You can get the book, $20. You can learn a lot. You can get deals just like Imani did. But I understand that a lot of people, it's like different, like if you're a visual learner, especially, or if you want to see like more specific examples of like actual deals, numbers, things like that, case studies and so on. That's what the course is for. And so if you're someone who is interested in that and would find value in that, I just reduced the investment to $997. And I'm doing this kind of like little special promo that if you join the course in the next 6 days, so until Monday, I am actually going to be doing a live workshop on May 12th that I'm calling my brand contact hunting workshop, where basically we're all going to pile into a Zoom call and I'm going to be like, all right, what brands do you want? It's like your dream brands to collaborate with. And I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you how I find the decision makers at those brands and their likely email addresses. So it's a really, really valuable session, but you'll only get access to it if you join Brand Deal Wizard in the next 6 days, basically. And I did want to mention also something, Amani, that in addition to the one-time payment option, I do have a installment plan. Like I have a 3-month plan. I think it's like $397 over 3 months. So if that helps, I don't know. But again, like no pressure. If it's not the right time, it's not the right time. But I did want to mention for anyone else on the call that might be interested in that, come. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be great. Liz says, join the coaching. Well, look at that. Liz said, she's saying, just join the coaching. Just go straight for it. And I appreciate you, Liz. I really, really do. We've got Tony says, I wish I could join, but I can't afford it right now. Tony, honestly, dude, like even if you can't ever join, even if you just get value from the live streams or the book or whatever, that's enough for me, man. Like hopefully I've said this before, like I'm not in this for the money. If I was, why would I be doing these live streams every freaking week for 4 years? There's probably like other higher leverage things I could be doing with my time. But no, I really, truly enjoy this. I really enjoy helping people. I view this as like my mission to like educate the next generation of creators. I probably wouldn't have published the book if I was like fearful of like, everyone figuring out my secrets. You probably know, those of you in the live stream who have taken the course and read the book can probably say like a lot of the elements of the course are in the book. It's just a different format to learn it, right? And so from an accessibility standpoint, I'm just always thinking about how do I ensure that I can serve the most amount of people possible. All right, let's see here. We got Alex Rossi tuning in on Instagram. We've got Siniani. I don't know if I pronounced that properly. Yoselin tuning in the Instagram chat. Good to see you here. Imani said, what is the rate for coaching? So my coaching program, it's called Wizards Guild. So it's a sponsorship coaching program. And as I mentioned, it is an annual commitment. So it's either a $2,997 for the year for the group support version, or $9,997 for like $9,997 a year for the private support. So again, it's a heftier investment for sure, but the coaching program is different in that you actually get direct support from my team of coaches with your ongoing sponsorship strategies. So that is for the coaching. KMH family says, yes, BDW and book are so amazing and you'll learn so much from each. I appreciate that. very, very much. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. One thing I'll say is, so right after this live stream, if you guys are curious about how we actually pulled off our in-person event sponsor games, man, I'm so excited to just like bludgeon people over the head with all of this this amazing footage and pictures that we have from the event over the next infinity. Because we use such amazing B-roll in this YouTube video that I just posted. Because again, I wanted it to be useful for others, but I also wanted to share, why the event was so special, I think, for the creators in our community. And it was just so much fun kind of walking back on memory lane. And, I cannot wait for next year. It was like the highlight of my life. I really, really think that, that is, going to be part of my legacy. Honestly, I think that this event, Liz, went to the event. So Liz, maybe you could, share your own experience at the event. But like, it's just it was like a very different experience to be in the room with other creators who are going through the same thing that you are. Just like walking away with those relationships. A lot of people told me that it was their first ever event. They'd never been to a kind of any sort of creator focused like conference or event or anything. It's not a conference, by the way. It's an anti-conference. Just to clarify here, I called it an event, not a conference. Honestly, like it was transformational for me for sure, but I know for a lot of creators that participated. And as evidence of that, several of the creators who went to my event ended up joining the mastermind because they found so much value in immersing themselves in this world around how you can grow your sponsorship income that they just wanted to keep it going. I think that this is often, especially if you are a creator who's building a business where you're doing a lot of different things, maybe you actually have facets of your business where you are selling things directly. Maybe it's coaching, maybe it's courses, maybe it's digital products, books, whatever it is. But you look at sponsorships as like found money. So sometimes, opportunities come to you and it's awesome, but you never like have a strategy behind it, right? And so when you actually decide that like, no, okay, what would this actually look like if I switched this from like a passive strategy to an active one? Yeah, probably you're going to make a lot more money doing it, right? And so that I think is one of the big values of creating an actual strategy that you don't just pull out of your butt. Do you guys remember that section in the book where I was like, it was like at the very beginning and it was like, let me tell you about the 9 mistakes that you're making as a creator that like prevent you from getting deals. And then I was like, actually, you know what? I lied. There's actually 10 mistakes. Don't pull a sponsorship strategy out of your butt. I was like debating back and forth whether I should like put that line in there because, it's like, are people going to take me seriously if I say the word butt in there or like make a stupid joke like that? And I just ultimately decided like, this is me. This is my personality. I say stupid stuff like that. And I feel like I should just leave it in there. So I don't know if that threw anyone off, but I definitely had a moment there where I was like, going through my editor's notes and I was like, no, I think I'm going to keep this. I think I'm going to keep it. Liz says this was my first ever event too. So many great people follow Justin. It was awesome. I'm so appreciative of that, Liz. Honestly, I'm so thrilled for you. It was interactive and fun, which is great for creative types. Yes, that's a great point. Like we don't want to just sit there and like, fall asleep at our chairs. No, we got to get up and do stuff, fun stuff. Liz, I don't know if you would agree with this, but like my personal favorite part of the event was with game number 5, which was Produce. We actually gave people, all the groups, we gave them random objects and we made them create a sponsored video with the random object. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play one of them. Should I just play one of them? Because I feel like that's so fun. Okay, so I'm going to play my favorite one, which was, okay, so I gave people, let me see if I can find this. We gave the group a stapler. Okay, a swing line stapler. And the brief was we wanted them to make an ASMR video. The brand wanted people to like do some sort of ASMR video with the stapler. Are you guys I don't think you guys are quite ready for this video. Are you ready? Okay, hold on a second here. I'm going to share my screen here. I got to make sure the audio is playing. Okay, to share audio. Also share tab audio. Yes. Okay. Hold on a second here. How do I to share? Oh, I can't share audio if it's not okay. What if I open it? This is making me a sad panda. Hold on, guys. I have to do this now. Okay. Here we go. I figured out a way. Hold on. Hold the phone. Okay. Are we ready for this? Okay. Here we go. I'm so excited. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. I think it's going to work.
This video is sponsored by Swingline because your hands deserve the best. Effortless power. Each press, 50% less effort, but oh, so satisfying. Balanced, weighted. Perfectly crafted for your hand. Not just a stapler, a precision tool. No jams, no frustration. Just smooth, clean perfection. For the professional who knows quality isn't a luxury, it's a necessity.
Guys, was that not the most amazing thing that you've ever seen? That I about died when they played that, because we played everyone's videos afterwards, and they had a time cap. They had to do it, I think, in 60 minutes. But that was like an example. So we had a brief, and we said, okay, you got to follow the brief, and then we talked about it, and it was like I literally fell to my knees when they played that video. It was just, and so this was like, it was so fun. Was that not fun? Like, that was so fun. So yeah, if you want to come to Sponsor Games next year, this is the type of fun that you can expect. It really was. It was hilarious. That was a Doc Williams voice. Liz says, "I gotta go to Staples now. I don't know why. Some sort of subliminal message now is telling me to go to Staples and get a staple or get a what's it called?" Stapler. All right, y'all. We went a bit over today on the live stream, but I super appreciate each and every one of you for showing up live every week. It's some of my favorite time hanging out with y'all. And again, if you do want to come to the what's it called? The brand contact hunting workshop that I'm doing on May 12th. Join Brand New Wizard in the next 6 days. That's my special little promo for you peeps. Imani says, when is the next event? I have to go. So it's probably going to be in the February, March timeframe, 2026. We just had the last one in March of last month, and it was in San Antonio, Texas. Probably pretty sure we're going to do it in San Antonio again. It's not for sure, but it was just such a special vibe at the event, the venue that we picked out and all that. So yeah, join the waitlist though, Imani, sponsorgames.com. And sign up, your name, you'll get all the updates and all that. We're actually already starting to sell tickets to the alumni. A bunch of alumni have said that they want to lock in their alumni pricing already. And so I'm just so excited people are coming back as well. So anyways, peeps, I'll see you on the flip side next week. Let's go.